And we do start with this developing news and another warning for women at UNM. Police tell us there was a woman who says a guy groped her overnight, and this comes just about a week after another woman said the same thing happened to her.
Yeah, it's a frightening situation here. Officers say this latest incident happened near Castetter Hall. That's at the southern part of the campus, just off of Central, and police want all the women around the campus to be on alert. They have gotten 2 reports of women being attacked in just the last week, and the latest was here near Castetter Hall late last night. A woman told police a man had grabbed her and groped her near here. Now, she said it was a white male wearing a red sweater. Remember, last week a woman had a similar story. She says she was jogging near Johnson Field when 2 black men, she says, grabbed her and groped her. Police are still trying to find whoever did it. They say they should have more information about this sometime, possibly as early as today. But of course, we will keep you posted on what ends up happening with this investigation. But right now, police don't know if the 2 cases are connected.
And because of all of this, UNM police are setting up a tip line. They're hoping to get more information about whoever is groping these women and just about other crimes in general. Now, you should know this is not going to be anonymous. For that, you still need to call Crime Stoppers. This hotline at UNM should be up and running later this week. When it is, we'll let you know the number. In other news for you this morning, we now know more about the man accused of robbing a bank in Albuquerque last week and suspected of robbing 5 more. He has a history of rape and robbery. Investigators caught Charles Mullahan after they say he robbed the New Mexico Educators Federal Credit Union on Coors Northwest on Friday afternoon. Investigators also think that Mullahan's the same guy who has robbed 5 other banks in the city in the last few weeks. However, he has not been charged with any of that. Turns out police also wanted Mullahan, saying he violated his probation for robbing a 7-Eleven back in 2005. Plus, in 1997, he pled guilty to kidnapping and 2 counts of rape. Investigators are still looking for the man in this surveillance picture who robbed a bank in Española yesterday morning. They say the man went into the Wells Fargo on Riverside Drive about 10:30, gave the teller a note demanding cash, then left in an older tan or brown station wagon. If you know who he might be, please call police there.
The Safe Cities Strike Force team has the demolition of one problematic house on the fast track now. This is video from a neighbor's surveillance camera that shows an explosion at the house near Candelaria and Wantabo late Sunday night. That fire caused so much damage that officials want it gone as soon as possible. Now, you might remember a large fire there last month. The 84-year-old owner, Juanita Adams, was found dead inside. Adams lived with her son. Medical investigators have not determined yet if the fire killed her or if she died from some other cause. Investigators say there have been problems there for many years. And firefighters now have new ways to fight big fires like that and keeping themselves safe at the same time.
The lessons learned here came during that huge Royal Crown apartment fire that was 2 years ago in Albuquerque. 47 apartments burned at this complex off Gibson. 4 firefighters fell when the roof collapsed, too. Thankfully, they were okay, but the department didn't want anything like that to happen again. So now firefighters have changed how they call for help. Plus, now they call in after they have searched every few apartments rather than waiting until they go through all of them.
We sort of caught ourselves in what we call a residential mindset. We used house fire tactics at an apartment complex and it didn't work.
The firefighters in charge are also using a command training center and simulator to test how well they make decisions when big fires happen. Well, this morning, a couple in Durango is mourning the loss of their son who was killed in an avalanche last weekend. Authorities say that Peter Carver and 2 of his friends were skiing north of Silverton in the Corkscrew Gulch area when they triggered that avalanche. It buried Carver in 5 feet of snow and killed him. The other men were pinned against trees and survived. Peter Carver was 23 years old. He was a student at Fort Lewis College. And search and rescue crews are still combing Colorado's Rocky Mountain National Park for a man who was originally from Roswell. Troy Green was going from San Antonio, where he lives now, to Denver for a conference, but he never showed up. 2 hikers say they ran into Mr. Green Thursday afternoon, but that he hasn't been seen since then. Now his family and friends are quite worried about him. All right, they say they are
just hoping for the best, crossing my fingers that something happened, that they're going to be able to find him and he'll be okay and get to come home.
The rescue crews are now using helicopters and dogs to try to find Troy Green.
A Laguna Pueblo man gets just 6 months in jail after killing a bicyclist. Gilbert Wilconda pleaded guilty in October to negligent homicide in the death of Pennsylvania cyclist John Anzarski. The Albuquerque Journal reports that the judge gave Wakanda a maximum under the deal, which was 182 days in jail plus 600 hours of community service. And Zarsky was riding cross country with the Pink Metal Group in June of 2010, raising funds and raising awareness for breast cancer. Wakanda veered out of his lane and hit the cyclist from behind on the Laguna Pueblo and then took off. At last report, one of New Mexico's most wanted men is behind bars. U.S. Marshals say they got a tip that 27-year-old Jeremy Conde was staying with a woman at a house in Roswell. They found him Sunday hiding in the kitchen. His extensive criminal history spans 3 states for crimes that include aggravated assault, robbery, and rape.